This isn't going to be one of my typical normal videos where I go all in on the edits and do a big analysis on 2 players or whatever. I'm just going to make this quick update video about the big blockbuster trade that just happened. There's not going to be any clips in the background. I'm just going to show the tweet from Woj. This trade was absolutely insane. And it's part of the reason why I love watching the NBA, because of these big blockbuster trades before the trade deadline. Because in the span of just 2 days, we went from thinking that the biggest trade target was OG Anunoby, and the trade deadline was kind of boring, considering that the only trades we've had so far was Rui Hachimura, which was pretty cool, and Noah Vonleh to the Spurs, which he hasn't even suited up all year. So I can't imagine that that trade was any kind of important to anyone. To Kyrie Irving requesting a trade on Friday, and everyone's speculation went through the roof, to now he's going to the Dallas Mavericks as of today, as of an hour ago. Absolutely insane. If you guys didn't know already, Woj tweeted out that Dallas is getting Kyrie Irving in exchange for Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie, a 2029 unprotected, and 2 second-round picks. Absolutely crazy. Now, I'm going to speak on behalf of Dallas' side first. I'm going to give you guys his thoughts on everything, but I'm going to start it with Dallas first. This is an absolute W for Dallas. Yes, it is a swing in the fences for trading a 2029 unprotected, absolute swing, and if you whiff, it is a horrible trade. But I don't think they're going to whiff, because it's Kyrie Irving, and they desperately needed someone to play alongside Luka. Luka finally has that second star he needed. I think this is going to work out great for him. Obviously, Nico Harrison and Kyrie, they have history from the Nike days when he first came into the league and he was making his deals with Nike. Jason Kidd really wanted this trade, and now you get Luka, his second star. Now they lose some really key role players like Dorian Finney-Smith, so their defense gets way worse, the perimeter especially. So you need guys like Maxi Kleber to step up when he comes back healthy in a big way. You're gonna need Reggie Bullock to play the best Reggie Bullock of his life, if that makes any sense. Basically, he needs to step up in a bigger role. Obviously, Jason Kidd needs to figure out the rotations, work on, defensive sets, because when you have Kyrie and Luka on the same floor, the net rating is going to be negative on the defensive end. But as long as you're so dominant offensively, it doesn't matter. And that's what seems like it's going to happen, because Kyrie, as an off-ball player with some of the best in the league, wins you championships, and we've seen that. Obviously, with LeBron, he's played incredibly with KD and made runs with KD. It's exciting to see. I'm really curious to see how it goes. But losing those role guys is a loss for Dallas, and you can't help to wonder if Dallas isn't done yet with trades. They still have Christian Wood coming back from injury. Are they going to trade him? Because he has, contract extensions at the end of the season too. Question marks around that. He could be a prime trade target for them to get, maybe two or three more guys to come in and play perimeter defense for them off, switching defense, or, playing into like more of a zone type deal. Kind of weird wording. Like I said, I'm not going to do many edits, but my whole thought process is Christian Wood still a question mark for trade. But Christian Wood's playing great too. So, I don't know. All I know is that the Dallas offense gets a lot better now. Luka's not fighting for his life every night, and it's going to be really exciting to watch. But you do lose key guys, and you need role players to step up, like Maxi Kleber when he comes back, like Christian Wood when he comes back. Tim Hardaway Jr. as well. Obviously, not the best defensive player, but you need everyone to step up at this rate, right? So now let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets, because if you're the Brooklyn Nets, I don't see this as a loss. Let me know in the comments if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan what you think about this trade. But I see this as a major W. Yes, you do lose your chance at NBA Finals contention with Kyrie Irving. It's the end of the Kyrie Irving era, and it's pretty sad. But at the same time, you get a huge 2029 first-round unprotected pick, which is going to be really, really, really crucial to your future as a franchise if KD stays or leaves. Speaking on that point, if KD decides he wants a trade or he wants out of Brooklyn, you could snag a bag for KD, because there's still a ton of teams that want KD. you could set up and just rebuild as the franchise. You could get like 3 or 4 first-round picks for him, maybe even 5 first-round picks for him. You know, who's not to say you get even more players, even more role players to surround KD with if KD wants to say. It's a lot of question marks for Brooklyn, but I think it's good thoughts to have and a good problem to have for the GM of Brooklyn, because you've solidified your future. You still have KD, so you can still contend. And if you want to trade, you just rebuild. You're in rebuild mode and you get a shit ton of first round picks. I think Brooklyn wins this trade 100% of the time. Now, if Kyrie goes and pops off in Dallas, you know, we'll have to see. Obviously, at that point, yes, he will, you know, Dallas will have won that trade. But who cares? Because Brooklyn has a bright future ahead, and you know, maybe they're not in contention for a couple of years, but that's okay, because, you know, look at Oklahoma City Thunder, who's rebuilding. Obviously, they're in a different situation. So yeah, let me know if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan what you think of this trade. I do feel really bad for KD because I just want to see him ball and play well and compete, and obviously he can't do that without another star next to him. And I could definitely see him walking from Brooklyn soon, especially because, you know, at the beginning of the season when Kyrie was going through all his BS and he wasn't playing, he went on podcasts and interviews saying that, you know, it's not right what the GMs and the coaches are doing to him because he doesn't want to play with bums off the bench. I also want to talk about the Lakers real quick. I'm so sorry, Lakers fans. I'm so sorry to LeBron and his legacy, because my God, Rob Pelinka, you screwed the bag again, man. I know they don't have the role players that Brooklyn wants because they still want to compete with KD. But if you're Rob Pelinka, why not just throw everything at the Brooklyn Nets? Woj tweeted, you could see it on the screen too, because like I said, I have the tweets pulled up in the background while I'm talking, so you could see it on the screen that the Lakers and the Nets had several conversations on a potential deal, but they preferred the Mavs package. It's probably because they weren't giving enough to the Nets. You know, it was probably the same old thing that everyone was talking about all over the media. Both the first rounds, Russ and some other guy to complete the contract for Kyrie. That's not enough. They don't want Russ. No one wants Russ, right? The only team that's making Russ work is the Lakers. Nobody else will make Russ work in this NBA right now. Nobody wants Russ. So how about you give them both your first rounds, Russ, another guy, and maybe some second rounds, maybe like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 second rounds, and maybe even another role player, like, I don't know, Dennis Schroeder. That would have helped out since they needed a point guard. Or maybe Lonnie Walker, or maybe Thomas Bryant, or Austin Reeves. Something, dude. You got to make something work, right? You got to make something work, because if you don't, we all know what happened. Kyrie goes to Dallas, and now the Lakers are left basically in non-contention. So it is really rough for the Lakers right now. And like I said, I feel mega bad for LeBron and his legacy, because Rob Pelinka is straight up screwing him over. Finally, I want to talk about the Clippers for just a brief minute. Clippers also screwed the pooch on this one. They desperately needed point guard play, and they could have been serious contenders if Kyrie went over to LA with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. It would have been an absolutely nasty team, especially since they already have so much depth. Now, I don't know if they have the contractual obligations to make the trade work. I don't know if they have the players to match Kyrie's contract to bring him over to LA. And I also don't know if he would want to go to LA, because he knows that the Clippers will not be able to give him the bag that he wants, whereas Dallas can definitely give him a major bag if the season goes well and he likes it there at Dallas. I don't think the Clippers can do that. But still, man, you got to at least try. I know you got first round picks to give. You have a ton of role players since your team is so deep. You got to make something happen. Michael Winger is known for these type of trades. We saw in 2019 when he made that huge blockbuster trade for Paul George, sending over Shea and like 5 first round picks or whatever it was for Paul George. He's known for big trades like this, so why back out from the Kyrie discussions here? You know what I mean? Especially since you desperately need point guard play, because you don't have a point guard basically. If you guys like the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.